On March 14, we celebrate this mystery number called pi, whose mathematical term is 3.141592653. Actually, that's all I can remember from pi. It's also the fraction notation approximation of fraction notation 22 divided by 7. This irrational number has been celebrated on March 14 since 1988 because of the format of the date in American culture, 3/14. 3.14 correspond, 314 correspond to the first three digits of pi, 3.14. Did you also know that Albert Einstein, one of the greatest and the most influential physicists of all time, was born on March 14. Actually, he was born on March 14, 1879. On March 14, 1988, Pi Day was observed for the first time. Actually, it happened in a museum in California, actually, San Francisco Exploratorium Science Museum, where a colleague, a physicist, by the name of Larry Shaw, he invited his colleagues to walk around a circular spaces, walk around circular spaces while eating fruit pies. But from that day, there have been a lot of evolutions on how Pi Day is observed or celebrated. Some places, some schools, they have pie contest to see who can recite the most digit of pies. They have some events where students or faculties or staffs tell jokes, tell stories about pie, pie jokes, pie cue poems. They eat pie snacks and pie beverages together. So that's really great. Pi Day is so popular that even on March 12, 2009, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a resolution recognizing March 14 as the National Pi Day. The United Nations as well, especially the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, UNESCO's 40th General Conference, which took place on November 2019, designated Pi Days as the International Day of Mathematics. In some circumstances, Pi Day is also celebrated on July 22nd in reference to the fraction notation 22 divided by 7, which is an approximation of pi. In some other places around the world, Pi Day is observed on June 28th in reference to one rotation around the unit circle, 2 pi. 2 times 3.14 give you 6.28, like June 28th. Pi Day is also observed in some places on November 10th in reference to the 314 days of the year. November 10 is in reference as 314 days of the year. They said they also observe Pi Day on that day. But if you had a chance to check that in the past, you would remember that in 2015, especially March 14, 2015, was celebrated as Super Pi Day. It has a special significance as the date is written as 3/14/10, and they celebrated exactly at what time? It was at 9/26/53. So in date format, it was 14/15 for month, day, and year. At what time? 9 o'clock in the morning, 26 minutes and 53 seconds, in reference to the date and time together represent the first 10 digits of pi. Yes, pi is considered as the second most known mathematical constant in the world, after infinity, of course. And pi is usually used to find the circumference or the area of a circle when its diameter or radius is known. In other words, it is also defined as the ratio of circumference circle to its diameter. Besides that, you would find pi in a variety of formulas. It is irrational and transcendental number, meaning it cannot be expressed exactly as a ratio of two integers, even though I just tell you that it can be also written in the fraction notation 22 divided by 7, 22 over 7, but it doesn't give us exactly the value of pi. It gives an approximation of pi. We can say that its decimal representation has no end. But thanks to calculus, a lot of great mathematicians we've known and computer scientists, an approximation of the number of pi digits was identified. I believe so far they were able to identify 22 trillion digits of pi. And the most digits of pi that has been memorized by a human being so far, or that has been recited by a human being so far, is 67,890. Of course, there were some contestants who were able to recite 27,000 of pi. As you can see, the International Day of Mathematics coincides with Pi Day also. Take it as a great opportunity to encourage our students and also to draw awareness to the need of improving mathematical and science skills, and to encourage our students to be creative, to explore different ways mathematical formulas, theorems, and irrational constants can be applied to solve some real-world problems. As we celebrate Pi Day on March 14, it is not a day to be rational. Let's have fun. Encourage everyone in your entourage to tell pi jokes, pi cube poems, tell stories about pies, and sit together and have a beautiful, nice pie snacks and pie beverages. Happy Pi Day and happy International Day of Mathematics to you all. Have a good weekend. Take care.